Are Chelsea in a title race? Welcome back to the channel, guys. If you are new here, make sure you hit the subscribe button. If you enjoy this video, make sure you hit that like button. But yeah, it's crazy to think that I'm hearing people speak on Chelsea as title contenders. So I'm here to give you my thoughts. And I think there's two reasons that could impact Chelsea's ability to win this title. But let's look at the league table, right? If I wasn't a Premier League fan and I was looking at that league table, yes, Liverpool are 8 points clear. So you've got Liverpool on 31 points, Man City on 23 points, Chelsea on 22 points, sitting lovely in third position, Arsenal on 22 points, Brighton on 22 points. So I'm just looking at that league for the first time. And if you say to me, Man City are in a title race, I'd probably agree. If you were to say to me, Arsenal are in a title race, I'd probably agree. So that automatically makes me think Chelsea are in this title race because they're on the exact same number of points as Arsenal. What Chelsea have done at this start of the season has taken everybody by surprise. But you've got to remember, at this stage last season, Tottenham were top of the league. Look where they finished. So there's still a long way to go. But the fact that we're up there is unbelievable. We've got the youngest average age squad in the Premier League. We've got a manager that's come into the Premier League for the first ever time. That's only ever had one season in senior football, and that was in the Championship. What Enzo Maresca's doing with this squad is unbelievable. When you take all that in consideration, right, pound for pound, when you look at all the pros and cons, we're actually the most improved side in the Premier League. And if you were going to do a league table on the pros and cons, pound for pound, the realistic things, we're actually overachieving. So I actually think we would be top on that basis. And the funny thing about all this, we drop points where we shouldn't have against Crystal Palace, against Nottingham Forest. If we'd won those games, we would be very close to this Liverpool. And everybody's speaking about this Liverpool like they are exceptional. The good, don't get us wrong, but I think Liverpool have got another gear to go to. And that's one reason why I don't think we'll win the title. I think our objective at the start of the season was to get top four. But for me, the way I see objectives, right, I don't like to limit objectives. Because if you see our ambition is top four, then you settle for that. You don't reach for the stars. So why not the start of the season say, look, can we break into that top three? And that just puts the hunger into the players' minds that they want to achieve that. I'm not here to put a downer on things, but I do think we need some realism in this. Look, the game is evolved from back in the day where defenses win titles, and I do think that's a key component of it. But in this day and age, you get chances, you need to take your chances. Now, if we look at the league table, it's all favourable for Chelsea fans. You look at this league table and you think, we've scored more goals than Arsenal. Yes, we've conceded 2 more, but we're in and around roughly where we should be in terms of goal conceding. And if we can take those mistakes out of the game, who knows where we can be? Look, I'm not saying Chelsea are going to win the title. I do not think Chelsea are going to win this title for a couple of reasons. One, we need Liverpool to have a massive drop-off, and I don't think that'll happen. 2, we need to stay consistent throughout the whole Premier League season. I do think there's going to be a time where we do drop unnecessary points because this team is very inexperienced. Yes, it's one of the biggest and best squads in the league, but it's very inexperienced. And there's a couple of more factors which I'm going to get on to very shortly. But if you look at our fixtures for the end of November and then the whole of December, there is some very favourable fixtures in there. So first up, we've got Aston Villa at home. Aston Villa are now without a win in the last 5 games. So we should be going into this game full of confidence. And then we've got Southampton away on the 4th of December. Southampton play some beautiful football, but they're just not clinical enough. And then the big one would travel to Tottenham. Tottenham on the day can beat anybody. I stand by that. They've got to, when it goes bad, it goes horribly wrong. So if Tottenham can have an off day on that day, we can capitalise on that. And then we've got Brentford at home. Brentford are our bogey team. But I'm looking at that game and I'm thinking, Brentford have only picked up 1 point away from home all season. And that was last weekend against Everton in a 0-0 draw. So with us being the home side, I want 3 points. And then we travel to Everton on the 22nd of December. A team that are breathed of confidence. Again, we should be going out there with our chests held high and look to play them off the park. And then it's Fulham at home, Ipswich away. 2 favourable games before the turn of the year. So I'm looking at that. Out of those 7 games, I'm looking at that and thinking we can at least win 6 of those games. The only game there that's going to be defined by real small margins is Tottenham away. Look, I'm not here to say we're going to win the league. I really don't think we're going to win the league. And that's not what I'm portraying. What I'm portraying is how far Chelsea have come. We're in the conversation for title contenders. I think we will drop off slightly towards the end of the season, but I do think we've got a real big chance of finishing in that top 3. And think of the teams that we're competing against: Arsenal, Man City, Liverpool. If we can break into that, that shows that Chelsea Football Club mean business and we're going places. Now let's take a step back and look at each project. Chelsea have already started their rebuild, have already started their new project. I think Man City are yet to start theirs. I think Liverpool, if they do lose Mohamed Salah, Trent and Virgil van Dijk, will need to start a new project. And I think Arsenal are coming towards the end of their project. So if I'm looking at these 4 clubs and who's realistically got the best opportunity to really build momentum over the next 5 years, it's Chelsea Football Club. Now, I think there'll be 2 reasons why we won't stay consistent enough to really win the league this season. One reason is Robert Sanchez. I think when he plays, you're automatically start at a deficit because the amount of mistakes he's been making in the first 10, 11, 12 games of the season, it doesn't bring you confidence for the rest of the season. And there's one player that needs to stay fit for us to be successful, and that's Moses Caicedo, because we can't trust Romeo Lavia to stay fit. Now, if Moses Caicedo and Romeo Lavia are injured at the same time, we've got nobody to come in and fill in their shoes. I think next season might be slightly different because we'll have Andre Santos back, we'll have Leslie Ugochukwu back. But for this season, if they're both injured at the same time, I think the drop-off from their athleticism and what they bring to this midfield is huge. But looking at the league table, looking at the fixtures we've got coming up for the rest of the year, it's positive. Now, I'm not trying to jinx you because I really don't want to jinx Chelsea Football Club, but it's positive. You can only have positive things to say about Chelsea right now. But us football fans, I do it myself, we look for the negatives, we expect the worst. So when it happens, we're not really shocked by it. But let's be positive. This is what football's all about. It's all about hope. I want to know your thoughts. Drop us a comment in the below. But the levels we've shown this season bring confidence to us football fans. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Where do you think we'll end up? Do you think we can be in that title race come the end of the season? Let us know in below. And once again, I appreciate your time. Thank you very much for watching.